Hey dolls and gents, today I wanted to do a video all about concealers, and I wanted to talk mainly about the concealers that I like. So I'm not going to talk about all the concealers in my makeup collection. I'm just going to talk about the key ones that I like, what I like to use them for. And unfortunately, when it comes to concealers, I am quite biased. I prefer more high-end concealers because normally the concealers in drugstore are a bit off with the undertones when it comes to deeper complexions. And a lot of the concealers in drugstore, they just don't do it for me. If you have a drugstore concealer that you love and you think I should try it out, definitely leave it in the comments down below because I'm on the hunt for a good drugstore concealer, but I have not found one as of yet. So I'm first going to start off with my MAC concealers because I have mainly MAC concealers and I have a couple of other different brands. So I'm first going to start off with my Holy Grail concealer, which is the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. This one is in shade NW45. I use this to cover up my blemishes. This concealer lasts all day. It does not have SPF in it, so you don't have to worry about it flashing back in photography. And the color is just perfect for covering my hyperpigmentation on my cheeks and any blemishes or pimples that I may have on my skin. This is definitely a full coverage concealer, so if you like something more lightweight, you might not like this concealer, but I love this because a little bit goes a long way. It's very blendable and it's just flawless. It lasts all day. It's smooth. I love this concealer. A lot of people have also used this as a foundation instead of the MAC Pro Longwear foundation. I actually prefer this concealer over the foundation, even though I've done a review on the foundation as well a couple of years ago. But this concealer is amazing. I also got it in shade NW40, and I got this to use underneath the eye area, but I have to say that I don't like this concealer underneath the eyes because it's too liquidy. I prefer more of a cream concealer underneath the eye area, but something that glides on very smooth. I also have two of the MAC Studio Finish concealers. I used to use the NC50 Studio Finish concealer underneath my brows and underneath my eye area, but I don't use this color anymore because it's too yellow and it's not quite right for my skin tone. So I have this shade, but I don't use it anymore. I use the NW40 underneath my brows. So that's what I use right under here. And I love the consistency of this because it's full coverage, but it's very thick. It is creamy, but it almost has a matte feel to it. It's hard to describe. You just have to try it out. But this concealer will cover anything. I don't like using this concealer all over the face, so I don't have this in my foundation color, which would be NW45. I just use this underneath my brows, and I used to use it underneath my eyes, but I find that this concealer creases underneath the eye area. The next concealer from MAC that I want to talk about is this quad that I made at a MAC Pro store, and this has their Studio Finish correctors in it. And I have light peach, which is up here. I have pure orange. This one is called caramel. And I also have terracotta. Now, as you can see, I don't use terracotta. I bought this to use as a contour color right here, just to contour my face. But I don't use this color for that. I mainly work with these two colors here, which are light peach and caramel. I mix these two colors to use underneath my eye area. I love the consistency of the Studio Finish correctors over the Studio Finish concealer because it's a lot more creamier and a little bit more hydrating. If you don't like the light concealer look underneath your eye, you could get away with just using caramel, which is great. It almost has a salmon undertone to it, which is great for covering dark circles. I like to mix it with the light peach because you guys know I like that brightened under eye concealer look. And also this pure orange is great if you're of a deeper complexion and you have really dark hyperpigmentation on your skin. You can use the pure orange to correct and then use your regular concealer over top it. The next concealer that I want to talk about is by Prescriptives, and this is the Flawless Skin Total Protection Concealer, and the shade that I have is level 5 warm, and this does have an SPF of 25 in it, so it is great for using on top of your hyperpigmentation areas because it's not going to make them darker. This concealer is very full coverage. It's moisturizing. As you can see, I've hit pan on it big time. So I love this concealer. The only thing is Prescriptives is no longer sold in department stores. I think you can only get it online, but I also am able to get them at local CCOs. They still have Prescriptives, so that's where I get mine from. But I love using this on my eyelid area to mute out the discoloration, and I also love to use it on any hyperpigmentation on my skin. I use this when I need to cover up like a big pimple or blemish because it's a cream consistency, so it's a little bit better at covering up pimples and blemishes than the MAC Pro Longwear, which is more of a liquid consistency. The next concealer that I want to talk about is by Ben Nye. You can get this at a costume store. You can buy this online. And this one is the SK3 Will. And I use this specifically for contouring. I used to use the shade right here, which I've hit pan on underneath my eye area, and it's a great color underneath my eye. I just don't use it anymore because I found other colors that suit me a little bit better. It definitely has a salmon undertone, this color here, which is great for covering up under eye circles. If you are of a deeper complexion, a little bit darker than me, you can definitely use these shades to cover blemishes on your skin because these concealers are very full coverage. It is stage makeup, so it's very, very full coverage, like beyond regular makeup brand full coverage. But I love using these darker shades here for contouring. I use it right here in the hollows of my cheek and sometimes on the side of my nose. This is a great contour wheel if you're of a deeper complexion. Next, I want to talk about Bobbi Brown concealers, and I first want to talk about her corrective concealers. I use the shade Deep Bisque, and I've got to get another one of this. I love this underneath the eye area. It's very hydrating. It just is great. It has a peach undertone to it, a salmon undertone to it, so it's really great at hiding under eye circles. That's mainly what I look for in a concealer when it comes to under eye coverage. It has to be able to cover my under eyes, but also brighten underneath there too, and this does a great job at that. You can use this by itself without applying a regular concealer over top. This is like the perfect shade for me, and it's Deep Bisque. She also has her regular creamy concealer, and I have the shade Almond in this. I used to use this concealer to cover blemishes when I used her skin foundation. I don't use the skin foundation anymore, so I don't really use this concealer like that. But her creamy concealers have amazing coverage, and I just love the fill and consistency of them. So if you're looking for a good concealer, definitely try out Bobbi Brown's corrective concealer or even just the regular creamy concealer because it really is amazing. Next, I want to talk about my newest addition to my concealer collection, and that is the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. I talked about this concealer briefly in my February haul of randomness video, and I have it in the shade Deep. I love this concealer because the way that the applicator is, you can just kind of place a couple of dots underneath your eye and then blend it out. It is creaseless, so I use this only underneath my eye area, and the color does great at brightening underneath the eyes. When I have extremely dark circles, it doesn't do all that well with covering them, but when my dark circles are just normal to non-existent, this works great underneath the eyes. Another holy grail product for me is the Eve Pearl Salmon Concealer. And I have this in the Dual Salmon Concealer and Treatment in Dark Deep. I use the dark side here. I used it underneath my eyes today, and it covers any dark circles that you have underneath your eye, this covers like no other. If you have dark circles and you put your concealer on and it has a gray tone underneath, or you can still see your dark circles underneath, you definitely need a corrective concealer like this one. But this one is so good that you can use the corrective concealer by itself. You don't have to apply another concealer over top, just like the Bobbi Brown corrective concealer. I love this. It brightens and it covers my dark circles. I love the consistency of it. It's very hydrating. It has a treatment in it. If you're dry underneath your eyes, you definitely need a concealer that's hydrating, or it's going to start to crease and it's going to look a hot mess. This is hydrating, so I love it. The last concealer that I want to talk about today is the YSL Touche Claw Radiant Touch Pen, and I love this. I have the shade 7 in this. It is quite expensive compared to the other concealers that I've talked about, but I use this for highlighting. On days where I'm just wearing very little makeup, I'll use it down the bridge of my nose, right here in the center of my forehead, on my chin. I'll use it on my Cupid's bow and a little bit underneath my eyes, and it's just a great consistency. I love the color, and it just stays put even when I don't set it, because I don't like to set this. I like to kind of have that dewy finish when I use this. I use this a lot with my Chanel Perfection Lumiere foundation, and I love it. So those are my favorite concealers that I have in my makeup collection, my overview on them, what I use each one for. If you have any further questions, definitely leave them in the comments down below. If you would like to see more videos like this with maybe mascaras, lip liners, lipsticks, whatever you want to see, definitely let me know. If you like this video, thumbs it up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. I also used it today to highlight here in the bridge of my nose, and also my Cupid's bow. It's amazing. I love this.